Welcome back to another episode in our mini-series of She Well Read.
Yay! Hey guys, welcome back.
Yes, and today we are joined by not only one of my good friends, my soror, DeMya Jolly. And today,
Hello.
she's going to be talking to us about the political side of things that are going on right now. So with that, DeMya, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get started.
I am DeMya. I'm a project manager for CBG Strategies. It's a political strategies firm, and we do community, government, and business. And I've been there since January, and it's been pretty great. We have some amazing clients, and I've been able to do a lot of hands-on work in both politics and the other side of some things. So it's been really cool.
That's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a young Black female working in the political world?
So I started interning in politics when I was in the 10th grade, I believe, maybe the 9th. I interned for now deceased Councilwoman Maxine Parker, and I did that for a summer, and then I went on to intern with current Jefferson County Judge Jim Huey. And both of those experiences were good enough for me to continue politics and to go on and want to pursue it in college. So once I got to college, I interned with Congresswoman Sewell and Senator Doug Jones. And those experiences were also pretty great. So I came home and I'm still doing politics and, jumping in during this current climate of Trump and everything else, it was not what I wanted to jump into, but it was a jump that was necessary and a jump that definitely caused me to kind of change my way of thinking and how I kind of go about things, because this is a territory we're just not used to. So we're all kind of in the process of learning and going. And after this whole pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, and we're going to get a whole new direction. So, constant change, but this is a good change. So my experience in politics, it's been good for the most part. There have been some of the old ways kind of things, but I have been able to handle those situations, pretty well. And it's just a matter of voting those people out and putting in a more progressive person. And that way we won't have those encounters.
Right, that makes sense. Absolutely. So we want you to kind of talk to us about how is all of the Black Lives Matter movement, how all of these protests and rioting and looting, all of it, how is it affecting us politically? What are some things that we can do as citizens, and what are some calls to action that you have on that front?
Some things we can do as citizens is we can definitely donate. That's for sure. I think that is the easiest thing we can do from the comforts of our homes during this pandemic. And then you can also protest. You can go be active in the streets. My thing is just to make sure that you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're getting these COVID tests every few days, because the pandemic is still real. It has not gone away just because we have to go into action. So we're now fighting two huge issues at one time. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself while you go about fighting for yourself and others. Alana, what was the next?
Just to jump in, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
I just think that's a great point. During all of everything that's happening right now, if you need to take some time away from social media, or just take a step back from,
everything.
Right, like you
just go outside and breathe.
You have to breathe. Like take time and be good to yourself, for your own mental health, because my roommate was literally telling me yesterday, I can't help anyone if I don't help myself. And that's just so true. We have to, because we know this fight's going to be more of a marathon than a sprint. We have to be continuously taking care of ourselves.
And one thing I've done during this time, and I know y'all have discussed more than enough, that book is, it was great. I needed that book more than I knew during this time. It was just reaffirming, and just, everyone has their pace. Elaine got knocked down a lot of times, but she got back up and she ended up at Vogue. So,
So DeMya, can you tell us about the new project that you're working on, R360 News, and just what it is and plans you guys have for the future?
Okay. So R360 News is a news platform that was started by 3 African Americans. And for so long, I feel like we've depended on these large news sources who are headed by white males, usually, with white executive boards. And this news network will not be that. It will be the opposite. And it will have a lot more, diversity than what we're used to in these types of rooms. So what I do, a little bit of everything. I contribute with videos, so some on-air stuff, but I also contribute behind the scenes as well. I'll help, edit some, and just anything really that is needed to help push this along, because I want to see this effort thrive just that much. We have some good initiatives. We have a huge Juneteenth rally coming next week. It's going to be at Patton Park, 47. Please come out. Just celebrating, our history, our heritage, and it's going to be a great time. We're going to have some health and wellness.
That sounds really exciting, though. What was
it's
the
going to be a great time. WC Patton Park, Patton.
Okay, heard. Okay, got you.
Yes, and this is for all of those of you who are in the Birmingham area.
Yes, I mean, if you want to come up from, Montgomery, Mobile, welcome. Also at our celebration, we're going to have a food truck boulevard that's going to have a lot of local food trucks there. We're going to have a cake walk. We have the Exchange app, which is an app that we're launching that's going to have all the Birmingham Black businesses in one place, one app. So that's going to be amazing. And then we have Levi Grace's Wellness Center, like I said before, and that's just going to be just, have some pamphlets and make sure you're staying healthy. And then we have a cake walk. So Jolly Cakes will be there, and she'll be selling her treats. And I just think it's going to be an all-around great time.
Yeah. Please share any posts or flyers that you have, because we'd love to hear that.
Yeah, we'd love to spread that and spread the word. You guys can follow R360 News. Maya, you want to shout out all the places that they can find you?
Yes, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at R360 News.
Gotcha.
Awesome. So Maya, do you want to talk a little bit more about politically things that we can do, not just protesting and things of that nature, but I'm going to hint towards November, what's really important to do?
Go vote. Please, 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 please go vote. Take your line sisters, take your line brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your moms, your cousins, your friends, your sisters, your brothers, everybody. Even take your enemies. They can vote too.
Somebody needs to remix that and just that could be a bop.
It could be a bop.
Right. Your sisters, your mothers, your everybody.
Everybody. Just vote. Just vote. Because, unfortunately, a lot of us don't pay attention. Well, let me not say us, because I pay attention. But local elections are oftentimes overlooked, and that's where the power truly, kind of starts. So we have to vote in every election, not just presidential elections, not just mayoral elections, every election, because every seat matters. And, I oftentimes, we see and we say they wouldn't try to suppress our vote if it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's so true. Samara, did you have a question?
I did. I wanted to ask you, DeMya, so I am not good about going to the state elections, and mostly it's because I don't know who's running and I don't know who to support, so I feel you know, you get to the ballot and there's so many names, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just hoping that this is like a Democrat, you know, like this is how I normally vote. So I'm going to try to do this, but I haven't researched their campaign. Like, what is their platform? Who are they actually supporting? So is this something that maybe our 360 News could
For sure. We kind of already planning to do that a little bit, because that is a huge issue we have. A lot of our Black voters are uneducated on the issues. So if they're uneducated on what's on the ballot, they're more likely not to go vote for what they don't know. So our 360 News definitely plans to break down bills that are on the floor, do profiles on the candidates so you know exactly who they are and what they stand for, and even just have this is who our 360, you know, this is who we're backing, this is who our staff is backing, this is why they're backing them, just so everybody can kind of form an educated opinion from people they trust. So we hope to build a trust in the community so people come to us, you know, for things like this.
That's great. I
think it's super important.
So eye-opening.
Yeah, it's just like you said. I mean, even myself, like I'll go vote and be like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure this person is Democrat. And I haven't had, like, it's like some names I recognize, some I had no idea we were even voting on that. So I think that is really important to do your research, not only in places that you're familiar with, but reaching out to different organizations like your organization and seeing, you know, more details and more in depth about who and what you're voting for. Because like you said, it really starts here at home, because that's where you'll see the most change, and then it just moves up from there.
Let me also say this. It's also very important to vote for your own reasoning. I know a lot of people vote because this is who their family votes for. And, you know, you have to form your own opinion. And I think a lot of what we're dealing with now is because people didn't form their own opinions. They just voted on what they were used to. And I just have to highlight white women who voted for Donald Trump, that 54%. We cannot have y'all in that 54% come 2020 in November. We can't. You have to vote for yourself. How do you vote against yourself for the bettering of your husband? I don't understand. Couldn't be me, but do better. So, you know, I'm hopeful that in 2020, Joe Biden, you know.
That's a great point. And I'm glad you mentioned the statistic, because that was so shocking when they started dropping, like, you know, who actually voted for Donald Trump, and more than half, like 1 in 2 is out here supporting Trump. That shocked me. And, you know, everyone is saying that tables are turning and things are changing, but I would really like to see that statistic drop in November. That would be nice.
You know, just after those comments and stuff, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, forming your own opinion. Now, if you do your research and you still want to back Trump, like, that's up to you. But you know what? Like, I respect someone more if they come with facts and backing up the opinion that they're making than just based on, oh, well, my mom does it, or, you know, my friends do this, so that's what I'm going to vote for. No, form your own opinion, because this affects you. So at the end of the day, if you don't like the changes that were made, well, it's kind of your fault.
Because you didn't use your opportunity to voice your opinion. So.
And now look where we are.
Crying.
Literally. Yeah. So I want to ask you, actually, with some of the things that we heard coming out of Georgia, and those voters kind of literally being suppressed from their basic right to vote because of the polls not working and things of that nature. What do you say to people who come across that? Like, you know, I've been waiting since 6 a.m. to vote, and now I want to go home because I'm just done with it. This doesn't even matter. Like, my one vote does not matter. What do you have to say and advice on that?
Okay, so I know, you know, they had the suppression in November 2016, and that's how Stacey Abrams and, you know, all of that. So I'm not surprised that it was a continuation in 2020. I was hoping that it would be better because, you know, Stacey Abrams has the Fair Fight campaign, and that is basically to stop the voter suppression and to try to, you know, cut down on it. So I'm sure they probably made an impact in some way, but unfortunately, it wasn't in all areas. It's so hard to beat a system that you are outnumbered by, and you can't necessarily beat the suppression problem like before it happens that day of or something. If the police officer at the polls or whatever is saying, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, no one is there to tell the police officer that he can't tell you that you can't do this. So it's a huge issue, and it's going to be changed. I'm not going to say it's not. It's going to change, and we're going to do better. It's just going to take teamwork from both Democrats and Republicans. When the day comes that we can kind of abolish those words, that's when we'll really have progress in the United States. Until then,
100%.
We'll just keep making a little few baby steps. But that holds us back from so much because people will play party politics before anything.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's because, I've talked to many people who say, I'm a Democrat, but I don't necessarily agree with every single thing that the Democrats believe in. But I feel like you have to think of majority wise and realistically, who is going to do what is necessary and what is good for the world at this moment until, like you said, we can get to that point.
And I'll say this. I had a meeting with a high-ranked Alabama Republican last week. And before going into that meeting, I was kind of like, But after the meeting, I was like, you know what? If I was in Congress or, the Alabama State Senate or whatever, I could definitely work with him because he was very reasonable, he was knowledgeable, and he was willing to work both sides. But I've also encountered others that weren't like that, which caused me to kind of be like, But there are also Democrats who will make you go, So, you can't just close off. And that's one thing Congresswoman School definitely taught me, that you have to be able to talk to both sides.
Right. It's so important. Mm-hmm. So, Samra, do you have any more questions?
No. Oh, okay. How about, so you had like a really amazing resume, honestly, of working with different candidates in the political realm. Do you have any advice for people who are interested in politics but don't know where to get started or?
Yes. So I am on the junior board for Congresswoman School's 7th District program. That's the internship program that I was able to do her DC internship through. And we're always, well, not always, but when our applications open, we're always looking for candidates to sign up. And that's definitely a way to get involved. It does have a few requirements. You have to be in the Birmingham area. I think there's a GPA requirement, nothing too, unrealistic. And just keep an eye out, like on LinkedIn and stuff, because of what's going on with COVID. There's going to be a lot of virtual internships. So, and also because of COVID, a lot of people don't think there will be any internships. So go snag those internships up, build your resume, and come out of COVID better than you went in. Period.
That's on period. And that's just that on that.
No further questions.
Well, thank you, DeMya, for coming on and talking with us. We really appreciate your time. Any final remarks, any final words that you want to have?
Yeah, follow R360 News on everything. We're going to have some great news, great videos and stuff coming up really soon. And it's just going to be an exciting website. And I think we're going to do a lot of great things within the Black community.
Yeah, and I honestly think that's amazing because, like I've been telling literally everyone, like, this movement is not just something where we spark outrage, we get mad, and, it reaches its peak and then it just dies off. This is one of those things that, I love to hear about, where this is a continuation of this fight. This is not where we stop. There's a continuation. So I really love that about your program and what you're working on.
Thank you, baby.
Well, with that, we're going to wrap up this session of our mini series for She Well Read, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.